like I said, we're not our ancestors. We're the great value watered down version.
Yeah,
we're not even our parents. Man.
That narrative of I am not my ancestors, I would have to know what are you basing that on? Because in what era were you not your ancestors? When you say I'm not my ancestors, are you looking at it from the standpoint of my ancestors were nonviolent, but you're not busting your gun?
Yeah.
Are you looking at it from the era of my ancestors were enslaved, where you ain't writing books? You're not doing. I mean, you're not. They were still able to accomplish things that people that say they're not their ancestors haven't even did a tenth of.
And just to backtrack too, for people who don't understand, who maybe don't know the slogan and where the origin of where that comes from. Like, we are not our ancestors. It's really a play on the irony of this narrative that some people on the internet have of I am not my ancestors. We'll beat your ass. Like,
you can get these hands.
You can catch these hands. Almost as like people having the nerve to say I am not my ancestors, as if they're more bold or tougher, or if you try that with us, you will catch these hands or something like that. Even though the only person to bust his gun since his George Floyd incident was a white 17-year-old kid. But that's a whole different story. Yeah. We're just talking about the idea. So when I say we are not our ancestors, I'm saying in an ironic way, that post is actually right. We are not our ancestors, but it ain't because we throw hands. It's because they were operating from a place of power. You made a great point going with Stokely Carmichael and the Black Power and how we went from Black Power to Black Lives Matter. That's a big difference. Going from blackness being power to blackness being something that I'm asking you to see.
Yeah, well, it's
asking you to know matters. That's like, man.
Yeah. It's it goes back to what we were talking about, even in if you look at the record industry, and this is just a metaphor, and now in the instance of podcasting and people want to be independent and people wanting to own content, we own the content, we don't own the distribution, and you can use that same metaphor for us.
Yeah,
we are always the content.
Mm-hmm.
We don't never own any of the distribution. The Black Lives Matter, we're the content.
Yeah.
But we don't own, I don't think we own the distribution of how Black Lives Matter is being distributed in the slogans and how it's done as a whole. We're always the content. And we may own the content because we feel like, okay, blackness is cool. It's an element of coolness to it. So yeah, we supply the content. But the distribution of it, we always have to go to somebody else.
Now, here's the thing, though, too, and just keeping with the same theme of comparing to our ancestors. Okay, Black Lives Matter. I know it kind of gets confusing because it's a slogan, then it's an organization, and then there was an original one and a new one. But just putting all of that, cumulatively speaking, Black Lives Matter, right? If we compare Black Lives Matter to the Black Panthers and I'm going to say, Black Lives Matter is getting money. Don't tell me Black Lives Matter don't have a bag. The Panthers could raise money. What were the Panthers doing? Panthers was feeding people. Panthers were having a breakfast program. Panthers were showing up to this. Black Lives Matter, why? We can't get a breakfast program? We can't get a scholarship? Where's the Black Lives Matter scholarship program? Where's the Black Lives Matter scholarship for people who've been... families of people who've been affected by police brutality? Or if y'all want to bribe for the LGBT whatever thing, where's the Black Lives Matter scholarship for the LGBT people?
And even outside of just the Black Lives Matter and looking into the context of our ancestors, the Black Panthers actually had a 10-point program